Here's an expanded version of Part 1 in approximately 900 words, maintaining a simple, engaging, and human-centric narrative. Part 1. First encounter. The vast darkness of space held secrets beyond imagination, and the Eldarian civilization had long believed they were its ultimate masters. For countless generations, they had roamed the cosmic highways, their massive crystalline ships gliding through star systems like silent hunters. Kang Wu, the eldest of the Eldarian Council, remembered the stories passed down through centuries, tales of their people's unparalleled technological might and intellectual superiority. From the gleaming spires of their home world, Eldarians had watched civilizations rise and fall. They collected knowledge like precious gems, cataloging every scientific breakthrough, every cultural nuance of the species they encountered. Most were deemed insignificant, mere children playing with primitive tools and dreams too small to matter. On this particular day, something different caught their attention. A small human exploration vessel had entered their galactic sector, nothing more than a tiny speck against the infinite blackness. Most Eldarian observers would have dismissed it immediately, but Kang Wu had a different approach. Years of leadership had taught him that curiosity was the true mark of intelligence. The human ship moved with an unexpected grace. Its design was unlike anything in their extensive database, simple yet purposeful, lacking the ornate complexity of Eldarian engineering, but possessing a raw elegance that intrigued Wu. He watched as the vessel navigated through a challenging asteroid field, making calculations and adjustments that seemed almost intuitive. "Scan the vessel," Wu commanded the ship's primary AI system. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing basic details about the human craft. Crew of 5, limited technological capabilities, no advanced weapon systems, just a simple exploration mission. But something about their movement caught Wu's attention. The way they maneuvered suggested more than just programmed responses. There was a hint of creativity, of spontaneous decision-making that defied traditional computational logic. Inside the human vessel, Captain Li Haijin studied her navigation screens. She was unaware of the massive Eldarian ship observing them, focused entirely on guiding her team safely through the treacherous asteroid region. Her hands moved quickly across the control panel, making split-second adjustments that would have impressed even the most seasoned Eldarian navigator. What the Eldarians didn't realize was that humans possessed something far more powerful than advanced technology, adaptability. Where Eldarian systems relied on pre-programmed responses and calculated algorithms, human crews relied on instinct, creativity, and an uncanny ability to improvise. Kang Wu leaned forward, his long-fingered hand touching the holographic display. Something about this human vessel felt different. It wasn't just a machine moving through space. It felt alive, almost breathing with its own unique rhythm. The human ship suddenly changed course, avoiding a massive asteroid that their initial calculations hadn't predicted. It was a move that shouldn't have been possible with their seemingly limited technological capabilities. Wu's eyebrow raised slightly, the first hint of genuine intrigue he'd felt in decades. "Prepare communication protocols," he instructed his team, "but do not engage directly. We will observe." Little did Kang Wu know that this moment would become a turning point in the cosmic understanding of intelligence. The humans were not just another species to be catalogued and forgotten. They were something entirely unexpected, a civilization that would challenge everything the Eldarians believed they knew about intelligence, technology, and potential. The dance between the human vessel and the vast cosmic landscape continued, unaware that thousands of Eldarian eyes were watching, analyzing, and slowly beginning to question everything they had ever understood about intelligent life. In the cold silence of space, a remarkable story was about to unfold, a story of unexpected potential, of breaking barriers, and of challenging the very definition of what it means to be an advanced civilization. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story, maintaining the same engaging and natural tone? Part 2. Initial Observation. The communication. Room of the Eldarian flagship buzzed with quiet discussions as technicians and senior officers analyzed the human vessel. Park Ji-eun's ship, appeared almost laughably small compared to their massive crystalline structures, like a tiny fish swimming. Alongside an ancient whale, senior analyst Kim Ryujin pulled up the initial scans, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. "They're using combustion-based propulsion," he chuckled to his colleagues. "It's like watching someone ride a bicycle next to our quantum acceleration engines." But Captain Park Ji-eun was no ordinary explorer. Her team represented humanity's most ambitious space mission, a carefully selected group of specialists who embodied human resilience. Each crew member had been chosen not just for their technical skills, but for their ability to adapt, think creatively, and survive under extreme conditions. Inside their compact vessel, conversations flowed naturally. Dr. Han Seo-yoon, the mission's lead researcher, studied star charts with an intensity that would have surprised the Eldarians. Her fingers traced potential navigation routes, calculating risks and opportunities, with a blend of mathematical precision and intuitive understanding. "We're entering uncharted territory," she mentioned to her colleague Lee Jin-ho, who was monitoring their environmental systems. "Every light year we travel is a new chapter in human exploration." The Eldarian observation team found their casual approach perplexing. Humans didn't move with the rigid, calculated movements of technologically advanced species. They laughed. They discussed personal stories. They made spontaneous decisions that defied traditional computational models. What the Eldarians didn't understand was that human unpredictability was their greatest strength. Where other species might have precise programmed responses, humans brought creativity, emotional intelligence, and an extraordinary capacity for problem-solving. Captain Ji-eun's background told a story of determination. Raised in a small coastal town, she had fought against societal expectations, worked multiple jobs to fund her education, and ultimately became one of the most respected space exploration commanders. Her journey embodied something the Eldarians couldn't comprehend: the human ability to transform limitations into opportunities. The ship's communication systems crackled with occasional banter. "Hey, Jin-ho, remember to check the coffee supply," Ji-eun joked. "We can explore unknown galaxies, but running out of coffee would be a true disaster." Laughter echoed through their communication channels, a sound that would have confused the emotionally restrained Eldarian observers. Humor, spontaneity, human connection, these were variables their advanced algorithms couldn't calculate. Ryujin continued analyzing their scans, increasingly bewildered. The human vessel moved with an organic fluidity that seemed to defy their technological limitations. They made micro-adjustments that weren't programmed but felt intuitive. "They're not following standard navigation protocols," he muttered to his supervisor. "It's almost like they're feeling their way through space." What the Eldarians saw as primitive, human explorers considered adaptive intelligence. Each unexpected maneuver, each creative solution was a testament to their species' core strength, the ability to learn, adjust, and overcome. Dr. Seo-yoon was documenting everything. Her research logs weren't just technical reports, but narratives of human potential. "We're not just collecting data," she often told her team. "We're writing the next chapter of human understanding." As their vessel continued its journey, blissfully, unaware of the massive Eldarian ship observing them, the humans represented something far more powerful than advanced technology. They carried with them an unquantifiable spirit of exploration, a blend of scientific precision and emotional courage that would soon challenge everything the Eldarians believed about intelligence. The cosmic dance continued, with two civilizations on the brink of a remarkable encounter, one seeing the other as primitive, while the other carried within them a potential that was about to change everything. Would you like me to proceed with the next part of the story, maintaining the same engaging narrative style? Part 3. Unexpected Capabilities. The conference room felt thick with tension, an invisible electrical charge humming between the human and Eldarian delegations. Kim Sung-ho wasn't just another scientist. He was a breakthrough innovator who had spent decades challenging traditional communication theories. His hands moved confidently across the holographic interface, fingers dancing with a rhythm that suggested more than mere technical expertise. Years of research, countless sleepless nights, and an unwavering belief in human potential had led to this moment. The Eldarian scientists watched with a mixture of skepticism and barely concealed condescension. Their lead researcher, a tall, angular being named Kral, had already mentally categorized this demonstration as another primitive attempt at advanced technology. "What we've developed," Sung-Ho began, his voice calm and steady, "is a quantum communication protocol that doesn't just transmit information, it understands context, adapts in real time, and can self-correct across massive distances." A murmur rippled through the Eldarian delegation. Such a claim would have been dismissed as fantasy in their scientific community. Their communication systems relied on complex, rigid algorithmic structures that had remained unchanged for centuries. Sung-Ho's background was anything but typical. Growing up in a small coastal town, he had always been different. While other children played traditional games, he dismantled radios, rebuilt computers, and dreamed of breaking technological barriers. His parents, simple fishermen, had supported his unusual curiosity, recognizing something special in their son's relentless pursuit of knowledge. As he initiated the demonstration, something extraordinary happened. The quantum communication protocol didn't just transmit data, it seemed to breathe, to adapt, to learn. Information flowed not in rigid binary sequences, but in dynamic, almost organic waves. Kral leaned forward, his skepticism gradually transforming into genuine curiosity. The human protocol was doing something fundamentally impossible by Eldarian standards. It was creating communication channels that didn't just transfer information, but understood the nuanced context of that information. "Notice how the protocol adjusts," Sung-Ho explained, his fingers moving across multiple holographic displays. "Traditional communication relies on fixed parameters. Our system learns, predicts, and self-optimizes continuously." Dr. Lee Jinner, another member of the human team, added context. "It's not just about sending data. It's about creating intelligent communication ecosystems that can adapt to unprecedented scenarios." The Eldarian scientists exchanged glances. This wasn't just a technological demonstration, it was a fundamental challenge to their understanding of communication, intelligence, and potential. What they didn't realize was that this moment represented something deeper than a technical breakthrough. It was a testament to human ingenuity, to the ability to look beyond established limitations and imagine entirely new possibilities. Sung-Ho's protocol emerged from years of collaborative research, drawing insights from diverse fields: neuroscience, quantum mechanics, artificial intelligence, and human psychology. It wasn't a product of a single brilliant mind, but a collective human endeavor. As the demonstration continued, the Eldarian delegation's rigid postures began to soften. Their initial dismissal transformed into genuine fascination. The human communication protocol wasn't just functional, it was revolutionary. "Impossible," Kral muttered, more to himself than anyone else. But the evidence was right in front of them, defying everything they thought they knew about technological capabilities. Sung-Ho smiled, not a triumphant or arrogant expression, but one of pure scientific joy. This was why he had dedicated his life to research, not for personal glory, but for the collective advancement of human understanding. The room hummed with potential, with the electricity of a paradigm-shifting moment. Humans had just demonstrated that innovation wasn't about having the most advanced starting point, but about the capacity to imagine, to challenge, and to transform. As the demonstration concluded, an unspoken understanding emerged. The universe was far more complex, far more beautiful than any single civilization could comprehend, and human potential was something that couldn't be measured by traditional metrics. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story, maintaining the same engaging narrative style? Part 4. Technological Disruption. The aftermath of Sung-Ho's demonstration rippled through the Eldarian civilization like a silent earthquake. What had begun as a routine technological exchange had become something far more profound, a moment that would redefine their understanding of intelligence and potential. In the central research hub of the Eldarian flagship, Senior scientists gathered in heated discussion. Holographic displays flickered with comparative analyses, each projection revealing more questions than answers. The human communication protocol wasn't just a technological breakthrough, it was a complete reimagining of interstellar communication. Light. Researcher Crowell stood at the center of the room, his usually composed demeanor showing signs of genuine confusion. Decades of scientific certainty were crumbling before his eyes. The humans had done something impossible. They had created a communication system that learned, adapted, and evolved in real time. "This changes everything," whispered Dr. Park Yeonji, the human team's lead strategist. Her eyes sparkled with the excitement of scientific discovery. She understood that this moment was about more than just technological advancement. It was about challenging fundamental assumptions about intelligence. The Eldarian archives contained millennia of documented encounters with various civilizations. Each was carefully categorized, analyzed, and ultimately dismissed as technologically inferior. But the humans were different. They didn't just challenge the system, they reimagined it entirely. Back on the human research vessel, the team celebrated their breakthrough with a mixture of professional pride and genuine excitement. It wasn't about defeating the Eldarians, but about proving something more important, that human potential knew no boundaries. Jin Ho, the team's technical support specialist, broke into an impromptu dance, his laughter echoing through the ship's communication systems. "We just rewrote the rules of interstellar communication," he shouted, high-fiving his colleagues. What the Eldarians failed to understand was that human innovation wasn't about linear technological progression. It was about creativity, collaboration, and the willingness to challenge existing paradigms. Each breakthrough emerged from a complex web of human experiences, cultural diversity, collective imagination, and an insatiable curiosity about the unknown. The communication protocol developed by Sung Ho was more than a technical achievement. It represented years of collaborative research, drawing insights from diverse fields: neuroscience, quantum mechanics, cultural anthropology, and human psychology. It wasn't a product of a single brilliant mind, but a collective human endeavor. Kral reviewed the data repeatedly, each analysis revealing new layers of complexity. The human system didn't just transmit information, it understood context, predicted potential communication challenges, and dynamically adjusted its approach. It was almost alive. "We've been looking at communication all wrong," Dr. Park Yeonji explained during a subsequent briefing. "Traditional systems are about transmission. Our approach is about understanding, adapting, and evolving." The Eldarian scientific community found themselves in uncharted territory. Their long-held beliefs about technological superiority were crumbling. Centuries of archived research suddenly seemed outdated, limited, almost primitive. What made the human breakthrough truly remarkable was its underlying philosophy. It wasn't about creating the most complex system, but about developing the most adaptive, intelligent approach to communication. Each line of code, each quantum calculation carried within it a fundamental human trait: the ability to learn, to grow, to transform. As news of the breakthrough spread, something extraordinary happened. The Eldarian civilization began to question its own foundational beliefs. If humans could achieve this level of technological innovation, what other assumptions might be wrong? The cosmic conversation had changed forever. No longer were humans viewed as a primitive species to be catalogued and dismissed. They had become something far more significant, a civilization with the potential to reshape understanding itself. In the vast darkness of space, a new chapter of interstellar communication was being written, and at its center were not advanced machines or complex algorithms, but the remarkable, unpredictable, endlessly creative human spirit. Would you like me to continue with the final part of the story, maintaining the same engaging narrative style? Part 5. Cosmic Humility. The massive observation chamber fell silent as Kang Wu processed the final reports. Holographic displays danced with complex data streams, each visualization telling a story that challenged everything his civilization had believed for millennia. Humans weren't just another species to be catalogued and forgotten. They were something entirely unexpected, a civilization that defied every conventional understanding of intelligence and potential. Wu remembered the stories passed down through generations of Eldarian leaders. Tales of cosmic superiority, of being the ultimate masters of knowledge and technology. Those stories now felt like childhood fairy tales, crumbling beneath the weight of human innovation. In the research facility's central hall, he called an emergency session of the Eldarian High Council. The room buzzed with nervous energy. Senior researchers, philosophers, and political leaders gathered, their usually confident postures now tinged with uncertainty. "We've been wrong," Wu began, his voice cutting through the tension. "Everything we believed about intelligent life, about our place in the universe, needs to be reconsidered." The human delegation, led by Captain Park Ji-un, sat quietly on the opposite side. There was no arrogance in their demeanor, no triumphant celebration, just a quiet, profound understanding of what they had achieved. Dr. Lee Seo-yoon, the mission's lead researcher, understood the significance of this moment. It wasn't about defeating the Eldarians, but about expanding the collective understanding of intelligent life. Her eyes reflected years of research, of pushing beyond known boundaries. Wu recalled the quantum communication demonstration, how Kim Sung-ho had effortlessly dismantled centuries of Eldarian technological assumptions. It wasn't just a technical breakthrough. It was a fundamental reimagining of communication itself. The human approach was what truly surprised the Eldarians. Where their civilization relied on rigid, predetermined systems, humans embraced uncertainty. They saw challenges as opportunities, limitations as invitations to innovate. "Our greatest mistake," Wu continued, "was believing that intelligence has a single definition. That technological advancement follows a linear path." Photographs of human history began displaying on the chamber's massive screens, images of human exploration, of overcoming seemingly impossible challenges. From the first steps on the moon to deep-sea expeditions, from fighting global pandemics to developing groundbreaking technologies, each image told a story of resilience. Captain Ji-un spoke softly, her words carrying more weight than any technological demonstration. "The universe is larger and more complex than any single civilization can comprehend. Our strength lies not in being superior, but in our ability to learn, adapt, and grow." The Eldarian philosophers found themselves wrestling with profound questions. What truly defined intelligence? Was it the complexity of technology, or the capacity to imagine, to dream, to transform? Younger Eldarian researchers looked at the human delegation with a mixture of respect and wonder. They saw not a primitive species, but a civilization that carried within it an unbounded potential for growth and understanding. Wu's final report would become a pivotal document in Eldarian history. It wasn't a declaration of defeat, but an acknowledgement of a broader, more nuanced understanding of intelligent life. "We came seeking to categorize," he would later write, "and instead, we discovered the true meaning of potential." The cosmic conversation had changed forever. Humans were no longer a footnote in the galactic archives, but a civilization that would reshape understanding itself. As the session concluded, something profound settled over the room. A new era of interstellar collaboration, of mutual respect and shared curiosity had begun. The universe, they now understood, was far more beautiful, far more complex than any single civilization could ever hope to comprehend. Would you like me to provide any additional details or modifications to the story?